So we're just about to be live here, people. We're just making sure we're connecting right. It looks good. It feels good. And we're here. What's up, everybody? This is Jay and Pete from twistedlens.tv. It's episode 14. We're here, brought to you by the Bridgewater Triangle. Tonight we're talking about the very controversial Ferguson Verdict, one less crew member, broken conspiracy theories, and the rise of a superhero. We're here, brah, and we're feeling it. Yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody? So we're back. Obviously, this is Jay and Pete, twistedlens.tv, and that's good right there. And we're here. So we're having some technical difficulties. I hope this is working right.
Which proves that we need someone to come give us a hand.
Yes.
We're hiring. Come check us out.
Dude,
we will pay you.
We definitely want an engineer here helping out. And obviously, yeah, because we're here every week. Right, Pete?
Yes. Faithfully.
Right.
Well, we're here every week doing live broadcasts every Wednesday night. That's why you're here. That's why we're here. 8/7 Central, and we're going to be releasing some made-for-TV episodes.
Yep.
And the weeks we do those, it'll be released prior to our live broadcasts at 8/7 Central.
So, right, and just so you guys know, we're usually so good at this. In this past 3 episodes, we've just been fumbling like little schoolgirls, bro.
We
I don't know
apologize.
What to say. So, look, we definitely have a couple topics to bring up. We definitely, for me anyway, I've been running into these kind of conspiracy theorists that are driving me kind of nuts. Obviously, we definitely want to talk about the Ferguson verdict. That's been quite a stir. We've had friends getting in arguments about it. Everyone's fist fighting essentially with all kinds of things. Not our friends in particular, but it's just getting out of hand. And we're definitely going to want to talk about those things getting into this. But I can tell you about the conspiracy theories. Here's the problem I have. A lot of these guys are running to on the streets. They have these street teams that are out there saying their thing. And I can appreciate that. And it's good to have a mission. And it's good to know that you have the right to have that mission as conspiracy theorists. However, a lot of the guys I run to, I've literally been approached 4 times this year. One was by a girl out in Boston. I was walking to a contract I was on, and she starts talking about how, why don't you donate to feed the hungry in some country in East Bumfuck. When in reality, I said, look, that's great and everything, and I can appreciate it, but what about the hundreds of thousands of Americans who are starving right now? What about those people? Let's help them out real quick. And she just didn't know what to say. Similarly, I've run into the guys, obviously the Laconia guys. We'll get into that clip in just a minute. The guys in New York when we ran into out there doing the show, they obviously had some issues with the 9/11 stuff, and I can appreciate that as well. But again, each one of these experiences, especially from Laconia, clearly they just they go into this shit balls to the wall. They don't have the right guys out there with the right facts on the streets doing their thing. This is a pure example of one of the guys. I don't want to bash them too much because we do have them in the episode with New York. But I do kind of just want to say this is the kind of typical stuff we're running into all the time. With this guy here, we'll just start it off with this issue, man.
When Woodstock first happened, or 500,000, I don't know how many people were there, but 30 years later, everyone in their 40s, 50s today was at Woodstock back then. Right. That's how 9/11 is now. You have the Empire State Building that was hit by a plane.
So right at the bat, it's like we got these guys. He's talking about Woodstock, trying to compare it to such a crazy, tragic 9/11 experience. I don't understand why the hell he would even do that.
I don't know where ridiculous. He was going with that.
He didn't even have the right numbers with Woodstock.
No, I think it was 400,000 at Woodstock, the original one. I don't know where he was going with that.
He has the numbers.
Yeah. I mean, these guys don't even know what they're talking about. They don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, even now, here's another clip of these guys, which, again, I don't want to diss them too much, but here's just one more clip about... this clip here is actually where I'm thinking, oh, cool, he's actually starting to say something that makes sense. Cool, I'm going to listen in. And, he goes off the rant here.
40 Wall Street that was hit by a plane, both in the 30s. What I'm talking about is Building 7, which was never hit by a plane. And they've had, within the past year, a fire in Spain and a fire in Japan. Close to 24 hours, both of them burned for raging infernos, both buildings stood standing. And the reason they want to give you for this building falling is for fire. So the next time you're in an apartment building, and you're somewhere like that, or the next time you turn on your stove, be careful because it might melt.
That's what I'm talking about. Nonsensical rambling that doesn't make any sense is really not going to get your point across, people. If you want to get your point across, at least have some hard facts that make sense. Because I don't know what that guy was just talking about.
Oh, it's more. Check this out, dude. There's one last clip from New York, and then we'll move on here.
It's a little frustrating seeing that people, so many people are actually buying into it. But I think slowly but surely, we're awakening the mass. I think the majority of people here in New York know the truth. Right. I mean, even the CNN did a poll, and 84% of Americans didn't believe the official story. Not saying that it was an inside job, but just that there's pieces missing.
Right.
And how can there not be pieces missing when our president at the time, former President Bush, and Dick Cheney didn't want to testify under oath? Come on, that would be great if I could kill him and then get charged with it and be like, listen, I'm not going to testify under oath.
Right,
Yes,
so, okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's my fault.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but yes, you can do that, sir. It's called pleading the fifth. You don't have to incriminate yourself on the stand. He's obviously out of touch with reality. I think he's mentally disturbed, and he doesn't know the Constitution at all.
Yeah, no, that's part of what I'm saying. Like, these guys, especially with the 9/11 conspiracy, it's one thing with the Laconia guys doing the Obama thing, but these guys are trying to back up their mission with facts on a situation that you should really have an understanding of the law, and based on what these law issues are when it comes to what he's trying to talk about. It doesn't make sense to me, dude. But it gets crazier too. We obviously, when we went up to Laconia Bike Week, badass, by the way. We'll plug that. We actually have an episode when we were a different brand, episode 4. That's when we really started making kind of real, made-for-TV episodes. We'll plug that for sure.
Check it out.
We ran into these guys, and it was kind of crazy that, for me, I actually ran into a couple of these guys out in Mansfield, Massachusetts as well, walking into a bank, same Hitler mustache posters. And for us, I think that's kind of crazy. First of all, you out of all people were talking about this last week about defacing the president and how retarded that is to even be defacing him.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, even if you're not a fan of the president, you don't really that doesn't give you the right to put a Hitler mustache on him and compare what he does to the Holocaust. I mean, that's a little extreme, I would say.
Absolutely. Dude, there's Jewish people that are still alive, walking past that, 90 years old, walking past a sign like that and being horrified. Holy shit, I was there. What are these people doing? I don't get it, kind of shit. And it's like, look, we know you have the right, freedom of speech. We're all about freedom of speech. We give a shit, right? We're citizens of America as well. But the reality of it is, dude, it's just that kind of stuff. It's out of hand, dude. It's out of hand. So here's these goofballs, and it's one thing if they're out of hand and using that and trying to make a statement, but you got goofballs like this that say their shit, dude, and it's ridiculous. Dude, take a look.
All right, now videotape yourself signing up.
What is this about?
Obama's got to go.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there's a bill inside Congress. Hey, how you doing?
Going to do it is there's already a bill in there to impeach him because he violated.
Well, he violated the War Act by attacking Libya.
Libya?
And he didn't confront the Congress. He didn't get the Congress approval.
Well, actually, that's not
Doesn't he
true.
have 2 months or something like that?
He had 90 days. It's over with. Yeah, Dennis Kucinich introduced a bill for impeachment based on that. I say we get rid of him though because he hasn't done anything about the economy.
Are you fucking serious?
You just sign up.
Yeah, we're gonna do it by July 14th. I'll fucking wait till then, okay? I'll see you then. See what happens. Fucking little ass clown. He should. Dude, he's he goes, the guy's like, yeah, because the troops and the whole, the War Act.
I go, every president since FDR has done that.
He's no, he hasn't. Yeah, bullshit. He didn't have a fucking. He's a fucking piece of shit to say about that. Fucking. He's like George Bush. George Bush did this for what? Yeah, but what about the other war he's in? Did he get bipartisan for Afghanistan? He might have got it for Iraq.
I think I know why they did the Hitler mustache. I think they were going for shock value and trying to get attention to their cause.
Yeah.
I don't think they went about it the right way. I mean, I think that's just...
And that's their mission too. I mean, those guys out in Mansfield and them are both doing
That
it
should
for
offend all Americans,
Yeah,
putting a Hitler mustache on any president of this country.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. And I don't know. And again, we think it's. Do we care all the way? No. It's just everyone has their opinion. It makes sense. I just don't. I don't see the value in that. If you're trying to retain people to listen to what you're saying when you're doing stupid shit like that
And take you seriously. But hey, what about that? What's going on out there in Ferguson, Missouri?
Yeah, that's pretty
a little
crazy, dude. It is nuts.
Yeah, it's scary. I know the Brown verdict is very controversial, and or actually, it's the Wilson, the grand jury decided not to bring it to court. The officer that shot him.
Yeah, and it's out of control too. I mean, rioting. I mean, how do you feel about the rioting?
I think it's insane. I mean, if I don't agree with someone, I'm not going to go burn down my neighborhood and smash and loot. I don't get all that.
Well, they were saying that it was out of town people.
It was out of town people. If I saw somebody smashing my neighborhood from out of town, I'd be beating them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah.
I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I don't think it's out of town people. I think it's a handful of bad eggs that are making the rest of them look bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And like this opinion is obviously our opinion in the sense that it's just ridiculous. You should be doing that. And I get it. It's all because of the white. It's all because of whatever. I mean, we have to get past that shit. 63% of Obama's votes were white. So if it wasn't for the white population voting for Obama, who's the black president, he wouldn't even be in office, number one. Number two, that just goes to show we're way past that stuff. Like, for me, growing up, there was mixed emotions on race and stuff. For a long time, we were, we had friends who were black in Avon, Massachusetts, and there started to be like these race wars where there was this program from Avon high schools where the kids were coming in all from Brockton, that kind of stuff. They were starting shit. Then we started getting into some crazy shit, racial battles, and that shit sucks. I mean, it's just not. It doesn't help anybody. And this opinion on me is not. It's not to be a racial thing. It's to be everyone has a right to their opinion, but you can't be blaming the masses because one cop shoots a guy who was just robbing a store 2 hours before. And is known for criminal activity. And it's not about a black or white thing. It's about everybody thing. I think if it was a white guy or any guy, there was also an incident where a white guy was killed by a black cop the other day.
Yeah, and I don't see anybody rioting over that.
No, it's not.
Brown was a known, troublemaker.
Yep.
He was no angel. I'm not saying he deserved to get shot
and
killed,
no.
That's things that's for the courts to work out,
yeah.
and the superiors of that of Officer Wilson.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And for me, I think I don't know, man. I guess, like I said, everyone has a right to opinion, but there's at least three. There's the Chief Flynn interview that we have in the link description below of this video. There's the Jonathan, what's his name?
Gentry.
Gentry.
He
has something that I thought was actually kind of moving in the sense that he's saying, don't blame the whites, don't blame whatever. Similarly, this other guy, Charles R. Patrick, his link is in there too. And a lot of these guys from the black community are saying, like, look, it's really about where you live, what you're trying to change, how you're trying to change it. It's really, we didn't grow up in the best situations either, right? But, we weren't, we weren't living in the best conditions growing up in the rich towns in the world. We lived in little Avon, Massachusetts, but a lot of that spillover of chaos from Brockton, Randolph, Stoughton. There was always fights. There was always chaos. People didn't live with a bunch of money. But, some of us didn't make it out and live in the ghettos, essentially. And some people live good lives now and do what you got to do. And I think a lot of the links in the description of those guys were definitely something that, can contest to that. But obviously this is live broadcast. We don't see any posts yet when it comes to the chats or anything, so that's fine by us. But had you have been mentioning something, obviously we would have allowed you to speak your mind and get into it with us. And again, everyone has a right to your opinion. So, if you want your opinion talked about in one of our next live episodes, feel free to make a post in this live broadcast comment section, and we'll at least read them and try and do our best to get that opinion out in the next broadcast. So that's why we're having the issue, because we're actually doing comments in there, and that's why we're having the problem. It has nothing to do with. That's why the video is playing.
That's why I could hear. I got you. Yeah.
What we should have done is paused it, but that's all right. Sorry, we have literally 2 servers open with 16 windows open in each thing. I wish I had the camera out to take a snap of this. This is too funny. So on a happier note, you might have saw something like this the other day. We actually made this post on Facebook, an official, confirmed character we're bringing back to the show. Just take a quick look at this. It's kind of funny. So that's obviously a confirmed announcement by TwistedLens.tv the other day. Look, we had this character called Iron Nuts. Pete plays this character, and it's essentially this kind of Iron Man character where we actually started using special effects back then. We did this clip. People loved it. It was funny. We thought it was funny. We shelved it.
Yeah.
Because we started going more into like a more serious tone, made for TV episodes kind of thing. So we didn't think we were ever going to get back to that, but it turns out us going through the novel of scripts that we have for season 1 here and all these episodes, we did find a time slot that we wanted to at least talk about the times we started getting into special effects and some of the funnier things and some of the things that we just didn't and couldn't use. We still had it out there, so there will be a time within the episode chain that we produce some videos that you guys can watch, some pretty funny shit from our camp. But I did find Iron Nuts from the Jay and Juggy Show when we were the Jay and Juggy Show.tv. I found a clip.
Awesome.
And it's of Iron Nuts. So the facial UI that Pete has, aka Iron Nuts has, isn't as good as the one that we have in place now for the newer versions of this. But you can expect at least 2 or 3 of something like this, but definitely more elaborate and definitely better special effects. This was a piece of this was in Laconia Bike Week, episode 4. We'll plug that, and it's also in the brand new trailer for this season. At least pieces of it. You can see more of the dynamic look and feel of how the UI is, and we'll plug that as well. But take a look at Iron Nuts back in episode 4, Laconia Bike Week. Check it out.
We had a lot of fun doing it. Definitely check it out.
Definitely check it out.
Where it's cool to be a member, to take Christmas out of December. Hey, it's just a fender bender as they dismember our military and horse morale. Gathering like cattle in a corral while grazing they follow and teach the scholars from France.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, bro? Where the hell are you? You're late.
I was picking up my suit at the cleaners.
What do you mean, dude?
What suit?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
How long until you get here?
I don't know. I gotta take care of something first.
Dude, drop whatever you're doing and get here. Season 3's right around the corner, man.
All right, I'll be right there.
All right, so that's pretty funny. No, that was fun. And what Pete was trying to say, we were actually going into a B-roll, but what Pete had something to say right as we were getting into
Yeah,
it.
we had a lot of fun making that episode, or that clip, I should say. And
that was awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was fun. We had a good time. Check it out. Check out our Laconia episode from the Jay and Juggy Show also.
Yep.
Pretty good stuff, guys.
It is older material, but that's actually Laconia Bike Week, episode 4 of when we were the Jay and Juggy Show.tv is actually a good testament to how we're going to be going. That's kind of like a lot of that stuff before that was more just kind of messing around, trying to figure out how to get the right, plot down and get, videos working the way it should. Like, you guys have to remember, we didn't know anything about video before we started the show. And to see it get to this far and do what we're doing, live broadcast and, all the stuff that we did before that's coming to light in this next season, it's just going to be friggin' ridiculous.
We're still learning, as you can tell, but, we're getting better. Every day's a learning curve, and
Absolutely.
Thank you for sticking with us. We do this for the fans. Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely, dude. So I think that's it, man. Iron Nuts is going to be fun, though. We have a good 2 or 3 clips that we're coming out with this season. That's going to be totally different than what you saw, but it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun.
I want to take this time, though, to wish all the fans a happy Thanksgiving.
That's
Tomorrow's
right.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Enjoy the day off. Stuff your faces. I know I'm gonna.
Absolutely. And take pictures, put it on our Facebook wall, put it on YouTube. We'll plug that. And Twitter, we'll plug that, too. And that's it, man. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. And that's it, right?
Gobble, gobble.
The enemy